Okay, good evening, everybody. Just getting things going here tonight. All right. Moving stupid stuff around. All right. Okay, that's not what I learned. Okay. No. All right. So, whoops. Sorry, I wasn't actually in live video. Sorry about that. Still getting used to software. That being said, got a good night for you tonight. So, critical drinker. I had a video come up where we interviewed Andy Weir for about an hour and a half. Awesome, awesome interview. So, of course, I knew I couldn't, in all good conscience, watch that video before I saw it in theaters. And let's be honest, just being spoiled, just like by everybody left and right. It's just so good. Theater seats are just, it goes center out. Next thing you know, you're front row. So I saw it in IMAX at the Palms here in Des Moines, and it blew my mind. 2 seconds. Uh, so yeah, I already kind of called it. I think that this film is going to have uh, strong legs. I think it's going to last. I think it's going to. It's already doing huge word of mouth. Opening weekend was great. Uh, Man, and I've got to pull up this video. I Gosling video clip. Let's see. Yeah. Come on. Okay. Hopefully this is it. Oh my God. I swear to God. The internet is coming to kill us all. Okay. I can't pull this up. It would be too easy. I forgot to, honestly, I just forgot to pull it up beforehand. Um, so sorry about that. Anyway, let me see if I can at least get the quote. I mean, it's in my Instagram for crying out loud, or my Facebook. Facebook, my posts. Basically, I can't even find it on my post for crying out loud. I swear to God, I kind of hate Facebook. Anyway, he basically, before a screening, went in front of everybody and said, it's not your job to keep theaters in business. It's our job to make better movies to keep you coming back to theaters. And it was just like, finally, somebody speaking the quiet power out loud. Just common sense that studios just can't seem to comprehend. I mean, I could go into two radical tangents about Black Snape and the new Harry Potter and what other franchise is getting raped right now. Well, thank God Star Trek, Starfleet Academy got canceled. If Disney or if Paramount had any sense, they would just yank it, take the loss in the books, and write it off and never release season 2. Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, The Witcher. So it was awesome to go see this film in theaters. I mean, I got emotional like 3 specific separate times in the film. Um, it was easy to do. I mean, Jesus, I thought the guy and his date next to me, well, they were both crying, but I thought it was his date. There was 2 guys next to me, and we were all 3 crying at the same times during the movie. It was in under 3 hours, they managed to tell a story, a compelling story, a compelling original story about really 2 characters and a couple other ancillary characters, but all practical effects. Yeah, there was CG, but it was like for the extraneous bullshit, not the main stuff. Everything Rocky was practical. I'm not gonna say anything about the movie specifically in the storyline because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. Just go see it in IMAX. I miraculously had 2 IMAX passes. So like the gold Willy Wonka pass. So that saved me $15, and it'll save me $15 again when I use my second one to go see Project Hail Mary again. And then after you check out Critical Drinkers, interview with Andy Weir, go check out the 4 Keys book binding that this guy did for Andy Weir. He like custom bound this set of books. It's a set of 3 videos, a triptych. You know I love triptychs. So that's another cool creator to watch. Anyway, so the film was great. Let's take a quick look at what's out there. Whoops, that's screenshots. I want. Swear to God. I Give me a new flipping window, please. Good Lord. I've only been using Mac like every day for about 6 months, and man, there are things that piss me off. Now, again, I love and hate going to this site because usually it has all the art you want to see, but you never know what's promotional art, marketing, digital marketing art, and the real deal. So I know for a fact that right off here, this is a standard one sheet, and that this is, from what I understand, the international one sheet. Notice lack of date and lack of rating. Um, this one has the date. It's filmed for IMAX, although I don't see the rating on this one. Um, everything else pretty much, okay, Fandango, whatever, that's probably a one-off. This is a maybe. Okay, this one's never going to come up. All right, so this one I think I've seen one double-sided copy of, which means the 40X probably exists. ScreenX maybe, D-Box maybe. These probably digital marketing stuff that, well, this is interesting because this happens quite a bit where France has actual double-sided one sheets now that are both in French and English. And it's interesting. No, okay. This is an Australian. You can see down here the M. Let me see if I can get a bigger one. This M rating mature in the bottom left. That's definitely an Australian one sheet. So that's probably the real deal. This is probably an original, actual French one sheet. Project, whatever, Le Film, Sony Pictures France. I bet that's probably real. Probably not. I mean, I don't think that they put money into teaser posters for this film at all. So much is digital now. Good Lord. Hey, I got 3 viewers on. Hello, everybody. All right, so I mean, this would be a cool one just because it's the Dolby and the 40X, THX. No, they don't do THX really anymore. Dolby 40X. What's the other one? Dolby Cinema. They don't have them all on here. Well, there's Dolby Cinema. I can't think of the other one. 40X. So sometimes they come out with their own posters. A set we're going to look at tonight, which I'm so stoked for. I'm preempting tube number 13 on tonight's Unrolled because all this Andy Weir shit and Hail Mary, which is awesome. I had to pull these. And I tell you what, if I had ever won a second set of these, and because of the movies now and because of my incredible coverage, smash that like and subscribe button, by the way. In here is a set going along with the IMAX theme I was just about to explain. IMAX will sometimes, I don't know what their release schedule entails, but sometimes they will release their own posters. So they print them themselves, which by definition, Okay, 400 IMAX theaters. Let's just say halfway between 5 and 8,000. Was that 6,500? Whatever. Uh, to 400. Yeah. Radically smaller numbers. So radically smaller print run. I wish I had some contacts on the distro end of the distribution end of this, just to see how many posters do they print. It'd be good information to have for everybody. Well, for us collectors, for a small subset of collectors that care about such things, but it's neat information to have. It can't be a lot. Anyway, we're gonna look at those posters. Set of 3 IMAX only theater posters for The Martian, and they're awesome. I personally have never seen a set in my hands. This is the first and only set I've ever managed to lay my hands on, and they weren't cheap. Well, I mean, compared for what they should be going for, and I think what they went for last auction I saw, they're going for a lot more. And they should be. They're awesome, and they're rare, and they're cool, and it's a cool movie. Shout out Drew Goddard. Man, it'd be cool to have you on the show. Fuck. Uh, you and I were the only ones to score 100% on our film history paper in Kaylin's class. And I can't remember what paper you wrote yours on. I thought it was Fistful of Dollars, but that was Brad. So I don't remember what paper you wrote. Anyway, you're hot shit and famous, and guaranteed you're going to win. Going along with the long legs, long memory. I mean, the academies are a year away, just short of a year away. And hello, everybody. But people are going to remember this film. Drew, I thought he was going to get it for The Martian because it was so good, but whatever, he didn't. I mean, fuck, dude. At his age, he's got a nom already. I mean, that's super cool. But he's gonna get his adapted screenplay for this. I fucking guarantee it. Weir's on a roll. Um, it's funny. I don't even know who the freaking director for this is. I mean, I know who it is. I just can't remember his name. Okay, Spider-Verse. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Spider-Verse and Lego. Perfect man for this. I mean, they didn't shit all over the source material. I mean, Andy Weir was a producer on this film. And go and watch the Critical Drinkers interview. He goes kind of behind the scenes at Amazon and how they basically were like, we got the best people, best screenwriter, we got the best book, best story, we got all the best people. We're just gonna sit back and let you cook. And fuck, they did a good job. So we get to look at the 3 IMAX posters tonight, and then on top of that, I got 2 more orders in this week. I think if I get an order in that week, I'm going to open those. So right off the bat, that's 3 tubes to open. I'll have to explain one. By the way, last week I was talking about these posters. I mean, these are kind of like I said, these would be my bread and butter. These are posters that just need a little TLC, and they're awesome. They'll be great they're going to display insanely beautifully. But I forgot to tell people what a few of the poster titles were. I'm sorry for that. Last week was kind of all over the place. I'm sorry for that. Still getting used to this format, talking to myself, to a camera, to a faceless audience. Sooner or later, I'll have a guest on and we'll be able to do face to face. Anywho, I mentioned Darius Kanji and how he is an excellent, just mind-blowing cinematographer. But two of the one sheets in here that just need some work: Delicatessen and City of Lost Children. I just watched City of Lost Children on 4K, and I swear to God, so like I popped in the Blu-ray for my tonight's watch. I pulled the poster. That's one thing I'm trying to do. If I have a poster in a movie and I watch the movie, I'll put it up on Facebook and Instagram saying, hey, this is what I watched last night. The poster's awesome. Go check it out. But like 2 weeks ago, I'd popped in the Blu-ray. And I stopped like maybe a minute in. Excuse me. And I'm like, is there a 4K? And yes, there was. And they're like, it's so much better than the Blu-ray. And then Zavvi US had it mysteriously on sale for half off. It was like $23 on 4K. I'm like, I'd be stupid not to. So I waited for it. And good Lord, is it gorgeous. It's almost too green, but man, Kanji, I think he used the same process on that as he did on 7, where he used some kind of special film stock, heavy silver nitrate or something, underexposed it, then pushed it in post. Looks sumptuous is the word, but so that's a definite 4K. I don't normally recommend 4K movies, only if it's a film I have to have, or director did a restoration on it. I think this month coming up, I'll get back to that in a sec. Criterion's releasing this on the 21st. Good Lord. Have I got a poster for this to show you people? It's nuts. Serrano. Trying to figure out what this guy's first name is. Anyway, Criterion's releasing this later this month, or in April, technically, next month. But I haven't watched this in like 15 years, and I've been putting it off specifically for something like this. Can't wait. Movie art, poster art is crazy. Totally 60s psychedelic awesome. So yeah, that was the 30 by 40 in here, by the way, point blank. I think it's got some edge tears, slight creasing. It was not folded. Oh my God, this thing is going to clean up. Wicked cool. I mean, I've got a kick-ass one sheet folded that I had mounted, linen backed, and restored. Poster mountain John Davis. God, I haven't even talked about that guy in like 15 years. He and his team just did a gorgeous job on it. Some of the blues are still, man, the blues on that poster. You'll know what I mean when you see it. Anyway. So Point Blank 30 by 40 heavy cardstock, Manhunter, Goodfellas single sided. Manhunter was single sided. All these are rolled. Fearless, original China one sheet, and then City of Lost Children, Delicatessen. So those were all the posters in this one too from last week. Got the 3 tubes to open. We took a look at Hail Mary. So, I'm just going to get into it. I'm not going to bring up the Martian yet because I don't want to spoil this artwork. So let's get back to the standard US one sheet. Believe in the Hail Mary. Man, this was just so awesome. Perfectly paced. Jesus, there wasn't a... I'm good at spotting points in the film when you can take off to go hit the head. And I swear to God, I had to pee so flipping bad the last hour and a half. And normally I would have said F it and just gone to the bathroom, not there, but and then just accepted that I missed a section and I couldn't do it. I psychologically overrode my body's desire to go to the bathroom, so much so that by the last half hour of the film I didn't even notice it anymore. Maybe that's my body just saying, okay, buddy. But yeah, I knew that there was this one part in the film. I'm like, this is gonna happen and we're gonna get here. And I know that's gonna happen, so I'm not really gonna miss much, but man, would I have missed a ton. Anywho, so that being said, I really want to dig these Martians out and take a look at them. In the meantime, you can see here in the back, 30 by 40 Blade Runner. So that's the size the Point Blank will be, obviously. Just gorgeous. It's like a very good 8.5 plus, maybe a 9. It's got one crease along the left side. Other than that, it's gorgeous. It hasn't seen daylight, let alone UV, in 30 years. So, just stunning. Let me go get my Weatherman. Oh. So, it's a big boy. Let's see, it says what it weighed in at. Probably not. Oh, 6 pounds. I just think I broke open this cut again. I swear, man, fingertip cuts suck. All right. And yeah, I sure did. I have to get a Band-Aid for that. Excuse me one moment again. Ah. So, I can't remember how many posters in this order, but I think we're talking about at least 8 or 9. One thing I never have to complain about is Bruce's packing. All right, we are almost in here. In like Flint. Okay. Okay. Not completely ideal. I'm working on a second webcam. Seeing how I can kick that in remote. Apple's not making it easy for me to figure out how to use my iPhone as a webcam. Supposedly I should be able to select which of the 3 lenses I can use, but I can't figure it out. And I've been in IT for 20 years. All right. Well, we'll see what we start off with. Center of the pack. nothing. Okay, awesome. So, actually, the very first setup is a set from the Martian. So, just a perfect pull already. And then, all right, I know that a lot of people probably think that, recycling is bullshit and all that, whatever. You believe what you believe. By the way, I almost broke I didn't almost, I did break my own rule. Always have caps on your flipping drinks, people. Imagine me spilling a Coke on all these posters. Okay, so with all the posters that I've bought over my long and storied career, I've paid for tubes, but more often than not, I just pick out an appropriate tube from the pile that I still have like 30 or 40 just thick ass cardboard tubes ready to go. This stuff also, the better dealers will always send your poster in this because, whoa, that's wider than one sheet. Guess what? That happens. This gets all the damage and not your poster. But this shit is awesome. I never had to buy this again either. Okay. Yep. So this is the first and probably the most iconic of the three. I mean, I've seen the art. I just have never seen the posters in person. Yeah, that's just so awesome. As I take them down, I'll bring them a little closer to the camera. But it's got, the logo right there for the Project Ares mission logo. Mars, more to explore. Just awesome. Awesome, awesome. So these are single-sided, obviously. But I will say this, they're on a much thicker paper than you would normally find in a one sheet. Is that logo I was talking about? Remember, patience. Science for the future. I mean, how awesome is that for kids who want to get into STEM, man? We need more movies like this. Let's talk about the mission to Mars, man. That's not out of the realm of possibility within our lifetime. Um, if we don't blow up the world first. And I was talking about the paper on these. They're they're almost like halfway between a matte and a gloss. They're kind of weird. They're really slippery. And then a lot of people are going to love this one. And this one obviously talks about the actual ship in the Hermes spacecraft carrying our future. I mean, these are just cool, And IMAX can blow a little budget to produce these cool posters every now and again. Ironically enough, or unironically enough, as the universe seems to provide me perfect examples for every single thing I seem to bring up on this stream, is another IMAX only exclusive poster, I think, is in this roll. That only went out to IMAX theaters printed by IMAX themselves. And then once the stream is over, obviously I'll roll all three into one. That's another great set of threes. It's funny because it's never going to get old because there's always going to be a combination of three posters or three movies. So like Lord of the Rings trilogy, bam, bam, bam. Star Wars, Empire, Return, bam, bam, bam. Three posters, three character advances. Just, it's an endless well on which I get to feast. All right, what do we got next? Okay, I know what the ones on the bottom are. This will be kind of an interesting side discussion on these. I mean, let's be frankly candid here. Alien. My parents let me watch that when we were on vacation with all the family, and HBO was the hot new shit. And the parents decided to let all the kids watch Alien with the grown-ups. And I was like 8 years old, and it scared the living bejesus out of me. Oh my God. But no one has any right to argue that it's not one of the greatest sci-fi and or horror films ever made. All right, so I'm sorry, I've been kind of ignoring chat. Yeah, I bet you'd love to win that Blade Runner poster. No, that's the only possible reason I would ever sell that would be because I managed to replace it with the 40 by 60, which I'll be honest, that's going to be thousands if I can even find one. So, unfortunately, not. The Blade Runner's not being given away tonight. I mean, that's been on my list for. Okay, quick story about that one. All right, I talked to somebody at John Alvin's estate. He's the guy. He's the cat. He's the goat that painted this beautiful artwork. Iconic. I'm going to say it, even though it's radically overused. All right. I'll try to get a close-up of this. All right. I have to go down a little. All right, right there. That landing pad. Right here. You can see all 6 landing lights in this artwork, okay? You're almost never gonna see that, even on legit vintage original one sheets, folded or rolled, regardless. You're rarely going to see all six lights. That just means the 30 by 40s, and I pray to God, the 40 by, well, I don't think anyone could fake a 40 by 60 of Blade Runner. So any 40 by 60 that I ever find is going to be original. It'll be interesting. I'm almost certain it's going to have the uncropped art. But if you've got that on your one sheet, don't ever sell it. All right, what else in the chat? Interstellar. Yeah, I mean, apart from that stupid line about love transcending time and space, good Lord. We like the science, all right? Lovey dovey, whatever, okay? I just have such a problem with that line, but the rest of the movie's pretty cool, apart from the fact that he had to stumble on their secret launch facility to get even thought about being picked for the. Why wouldn't they have called him day one? I don't get it. Anyway, Interstellar, it's still pretty awesome. By the way, Tenet, I'm a dummy, right? It takes me forever to learn a lesson, but I kind of stupided out on Tenet, and well, obviously I'm not the only one because the video's probably got 1 million views. It explains in kind of this diagram with people moving and arrows indicating moving forward and backwards through time, and that whole scene with Neil at the end. Anyway, it's I don't remember if it's long, maybe 10 or 12 minutes, or maybe it's even shorter than that, like 3. I don't remember, but it actually explains how the whole last scenario worked, and it's epic. It's awesome. I like Tenet so much more now that I don't feel like an idiot. Okay, but back to this Alien, and then Aliens, freaking awesome. But so let's see, what year would this have been? 2003. God, I swear, every poster that I pull out that's recent is still 20 plus years old. But when they did the re-release in 2003 for Alien, it was basically the same poster, and a lot of people, I don't think, even know that there was a difference. But they did a single-sided and a double-sided version, each radically different. Okay, the double-sided was just your standard old double-sided one sheet. Okay, we're gonna put that one up right now. By the way, yeah, this was the director's cut. Obviously, I need more magnets, huh? It's got some creasing. edge wear. But for the most part, and it's nice if you get a reflective light, you can just really look at the face of the entire thing. I mean, there's small dings all over it, but I mean, overall, this is still in pretty good shape. So, director's cut. This one, double-sided. Scariest movie ever made. Blah blah blah. Experience on the big screen, digitally remastered with new footage. Okay, so this is what most theaters got. Silverback instead of white. Same art in space. No one can hear you scream because there's no sound in space. It's funny how the writers of Starfleet Academy forgot about that basic law of physics or energy or whatever the hell you call it, because space is a vacuum, right? Well, in like episode 8 or whatever, they tried to deploy a super secret Starfleet sonic weapon in space. Idiots. By the way, hats off, props, mad props to my buddy Bob. You know who you are. Sent me this hat because he's rad. JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratories, man. This episode is all about space, people. Even the screenshots. They all are from space movies. Specifically, spacecraft. All right, so this one is a little different. This one I'm going to need a lot of magnets because this is a rare printing. Everything I collect is rare. If it's got a limited print run or there's only like 6 in the world, I have to have one. Sorry. This one's like, it feels as heavy as there was a limited double set of posters for Hellboy that I can't remember who drew them. But they were this heavy ass, almost cardstock like paper. Same with this. This is a foil though, so I don't know what that means for what it took to go into printing it, or if like they had to have a special thickness of the poster to handle this type of foil. I don't know. But holy crap, does this one look like it's in good condition, which is rare. Particularly rare. And I'm being real careful with my magnet placement here. Because this foil, I mean, really any foil poster should be protected even within a stack by at least an intermediary sheet. Like the Underworld tour poster that's on my Instagram, those came with the special, I mean, each poster that they handed out came with one, which I thought was awesome. All right, so the foil scratches real easily, um, but limited edition number, and this one's number. Oh, that would have been cool if it had been 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's number 1243 out of 5,000. Again, foil background, single sided, heavy card stock. Um, Hang on, by the way. Sorry about this. Hopefully that opens up a little more light. Still tweaking that too. Anyway, but yeah, Alien, man. Awesome. Aliens. I was one of the few people I think that actually liked Alien 3. Um, Alex Thompson. And that BSC. Hey, he's still alive, man. I'm going to get him for my next film. Anyway, this dude. Uh, Hold on. Am I getting him confused? Um, it would have been like 1992. Yep, he did Alien 3, man. Say what you will about that film, even the story. I don't give a shit. It was gorgeous. Um, Man, those British and their low key lighting. Blade Runner. You know, when I talk about knowing your people, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Cinematographers, not just actors and directors, got makeup guys, everybody. Um, Jordan Cronenworth. Oh man, I didn't know he passed away. That sucks. Um, Altered States, Blade Runner, Rolling Thunder. Anyway, I mean, Blade Runner's epic. But regardless, was he? Okay, he was ASC. For some reason, I thought. I mean, but this says a ton right here, right? The fact that he won a BAFTA for cinematography on Blade Runner says it all. I mean, like I said, I thought he was a British cinematographer. Man, they know low key, they know dark. They use dark as a character. They use black as a positive color. British DPs that know what they're doing are awesome. Anyway, I mean, and that's why when I just glaze over that Blade Runner poster or any other poster that I love, I mean, it comes from a passion, not just from loving the movie, but loving the cinematography, loving the script. Um, I tell you, the coolest part about that movie when I was 13 and saw it at like 1 a.m. on HBO because I snuck out to watch it. I set my alarm. I watched it while everyone was asleep. But the memories. Yeah, that the scene where he ripped these and put another new one off the pile. I mean, how many people shit their pants back in 83, 84 when they saw Harrison Ford doing the zoom in and a 3D extrapolation of a freaking photograph? I mean, that was like next level William Gibson shit right there. That was mind blown for a 13-year-old 1983. Freaking kidding me? By the way, I already have one of these, but not in this good a condition. The other one has like a major crease running down through it. All right, what do we got next in here? And if you guys are bored, and want me to skip the rest of this too, whatever, just let me know. Okay, I'm not going to bother putting this one up. Well, I mean, I could. Yeah, I guess I will. Actually, there are two in here. If these come up, for anything less than like $100 a pop, I will buy these every day of the week. These were the Fight Club teaser advances. Jesus, these are rare. So these were Wilding posters. I've talked about them before on stream, I think just last week. But so Wildings are posters that are generally put up in the wild, buildings, alleys, poles, you name it. They're printed to just be trash thrown away. Nobody saves them. Obviously, Fight Club's popular little movie you may have heard about. Anyway, they released 4 of these, all with the same bar of soap, but 4 different taglines. Wash your feminine side clean off. Works great on bloodstains. Get in touch with your feminine side. I'm blanking the 4th one. Creates a thick, rich lather like rabies. Oh, no, hold on. All right, and then there's this one. Hand soap. How about swollen and broken fist soap? I mean, what are you going to say about these, man? These are wicked cool, wicked rare. Um, wicked hard to find. Used to be, man, good Lord. If back in the day, I think I probably have eh, okay, the awesome thing about these is that they're single-sided, meaning the two that I have that are torn in one spot, 2.5 inch tear maybe. Man, when those get linen backed, forget about it. They'll look like brand new. Uh, so these can be mounted and restored, right? Versus double-sided, which can never be linen backed, and you're kind of on your own. That's why best condition always trumps. And when you can't get best condition, any condition is better than no condition. Obviously, if it's a rare poster, we'll talk about 3 posters that I got for a ridiculous price. I almost jinxed myself. I'll tell you about that story in a minute. But these Fight Clubs, back in the day, I could have gotten like maybe 10 or 12 sets of these. I just didn't have the money. And I would have bought them all. Fuck yeah, I would have. Anywho, now you're lucky to see individuals on eBay. I think the last like 4 or 5 I saw were individuals, no sets, and I bought like 3 out of the 5. 2 of them had tears, but priceless. Okay, so your DS folded, Back to the Future 2. Oh yeah, if it's double-sided, there's no way I would get it linen backed. You're far better off. I mean, which style is it? Do you happen to know? Um, oh, part 2. Advanced. So is it this one? All right. I mean, that's a good style to have for sure. Yeah, I mean, even if, oh, sorry, man, I swear to God, that's why these million sub YouTubers have producers do all this stuff. Uh, my bad. Sorry about that. Is it that one? Yeah, that's a good. That's an awesome style. I mean, I'll be honest. Any good restorer worth their salt wouldn't even recommend that you get it done. There's a couple that, if you insisted, would probably go through with it, but they'd warn you first that it's risky. And if you find a restorer that doesn't mention that at all, or that it's double-sided, oh, dude, if it's signed by the cast, no way. Definitely not. At best, there would be 1 or 2 people that I would send it to get their opinion on whether any restoration along the fold lines would be even recommended. My guess is that you'll get, especially because it's signed, you'll probably get recommendations to just get it framed flat. And they'll probably provide you with suggestions on how to get it as flat as possible without damaging it. But yeah, definitely do not get it mounted. regardless of the medium. All right, on to the next. This next one is the other IMAX poster that I was telling you about. I can get my glove on here. But in the end, I think I probably have maybe 4 sets. But honestly, I think I probably have like 3 sets and 2 or 3 duplicates. But, I mean, come on. I'm complaining about owning duplicates of a Wilding poster for an epic David Fincher film. I'm complaining that I only have 3 or 4 sets. Oh, my woes. All right. You know, maybe I'll show close-ups real quick of the poster. So, Legend ends in IMAX, baby. Good old Christian with the bat symbol. But you can see experience in IMAX. Double-sided. So this one took me. I have a second copy. It's got a major crease running down it. Unfortunately, it was just shipped by a shitty seller. This one I got from Bruce. It's practically mint. Just gorgeous. But again, these went out directly from IMAX to only IMAX theaters. And specifically only IMAX theaters were screening the film. So out of the 400, I don't know how many eventually got printed. Imagine low thousands, maybe not even that much. I don't know. If they only have 400 theaters, even if you sent 2 to every theater, it's only 800 posters. So, I mean, is it? Dude, these are posters that I get. Yeah, these are all awesome, and they would be all awesome giveaways. But you got to understand, some of these took me a decade plus to get a nice condition, either one in better condition or even a single copy. So I don't know, man. When you get to 56, I mean, what was this anyway? 12. So wasn't that the same year Dread came out? Yeah. So same year of Dread. So 14 years ago, people. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that I mean, along with one of these other posters, man, it's hard to tell if a movie's going to be great or bad. Obviously, going in that a poster like this is only going to go to IMAX theaters, double sided. It's going to be rare as fuck. So your best bet is to try and get one as soon as you hear that story. These were hard to find at the time of release. So, yeah, 14 years after the fact, this is not going to be a giveaway. you know, uh, food for thought, though. Maybe the creased one that I probably wouldn't want to sell anyway. Maybe that would be a good future one. I'll have to pull it. I don't even know where it is right now. Now we're getting to the stuff I have no idea what else is in this roll. Well, I guess that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay. I thought there was more in that roll. I gotta slow my roll. Interesting. I thought there was more in there, but if there was, I was supposed to open that tube 5 years ago. So it's probably my fault. They left something out. It's not gonna get here. All right. Super quick. So this is, well, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna bust this one out super quick. Um, this is one I didn't have, even though I'm just like one of the world's biggest Tron fans. I didn't have this particular one from Legacy. And of course, when that piece of shit Ares came out, uh, every other previous film all of a sudden became a big deal, and everyone wanted them. So they were going for like up to $250, $300, whatever. And this asshole didn't put any protection on either end. So there's some dinging going on. Thanks, douchebag. I don't know. It's in one ear and out the other with these people. I mean, you can do and say everything. You can tell these people, hey, look, can you make sure and try and pack it this way? And if you try and explain how it should be packed correctly, it's too much info. They don't care. They'll tune it out. I've even had to offer to send, and I've done it twice. I've sent people tubes to send me the poster back in because the poster was so rare that I wanted to make sure that they sent it correctly. But, what are you going to do? YouTube video of a young woman thought there were 2 dimes and $1. So I guess I shouldn't complain about my poster being a little big. Now the question is this a regular or inverse roll? Guess. So I find the best way with inverse rolls to get them straightened out is to start in the middle and just go up and down. Otherwise, you're just fighting a battle with both ends at the same time instead of one at a time. Good Lord. All right, so obviously, again, this poster has some issues. I mean, you can't see him really from here. It's tough, but close up, it's. If I had to guess, I would say this was theater used, but honestly, for what it is, it's in pretty damn good condition. Shit, was this also 12? I'm starting to get bad. No, 10. So, man, the 2010s were actually had some pretty good movies. Anyway, so sooner or later when I got down, I mean, my whole Tron collection will be its own video. Uh, I've got just an endless pile of Tron material because I think it was awesome. I mean, if you don't know the story, uh, Tron was specifically left out of the Academy Awards in '83, would have been, because it was released in '82. For the '82 Academy Awards, they were excluded from even submitting Tron because they thought using computers was cheating. I mean, obviously, Lasseter from Toy Story's come out straight out and said, without Tron, you wouldn't have Toy Story, you wouldn't have Pixar, you wouldn't have The Incredibles, the best Fantastic Four movie ever made. Anywho, they released a set of 3 posters for Tron Legacy, meant specifically, and they rarely do this, but the only really decent example is Pearl Harbor. They made a triptych of promotional war bonds type posters that side by side featured the Zeros come in, I think a whole triptych of scenes from the film. Was it called Pearl Harbor? I think it was. Ben Affleck, what's her face, chick from Underworld, Kate Beckinsale, Josh Hartnett, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so for Tron Legacy, one side had Clue, one side had Flynn, and in the center you had this basic art, but the 2 styles flanking it fed into the artwork in the center. So this one was a standalone, meant for theaters that didn't have the other two, obviously. So you don't see any of the encroaching art from the other two styles in this style. So I didn't have it, and I mean, Jesus wept the kind of things I have to do to move things around to get certain posters. And unfortunately, most of the time, that means I get a copy when I'd love to have 18 copies, but it is what it is. Um, so I finally got this one. It's not as bad as it looks, or I thought it was going to look. Um, I saw this pop up for like $18.95. I bought it without hesitation because even if it's got some definite edge wear on both sides, but framed right with a decent mat, you're never going to see it anyway. And Olivia Wilde is smoking. Never going to mind looking at her for a couple of hours. Okay, now here we're getting down to the nitty gritty of one of the things I was really stoked about. And I broke my own rule, and the universe quickly reminded me not to fuck with it. So, one of my rules is to never talk about a poster until I have it in my hands. And I talked about it on stream last week. Talking about Lost in Translation, and then all of a sudden, buy it now on a Thursday. Guy shipped it on a Friday. Post office took receipt of it on Tuesday. And then nothing until today, when the only automated alert I got was that it had been delivered. So like 9 days later. In between, no status updates, no tracking information, no nothing. So I thought, oh man, I'm never going to get these because I talked about them on stream before I had them in my hand. One little tip, something you really can't avoid. Sometimes, a dealer or seller will put multiple posters in a tube that's really kind of too small for it, especially, and this guy didn't, if you use craft paper. I do not have, oh, by the way, Tron's nemesis is not Tron or TR off. It's Tron Jeremy. Anywho, so if you come across a poster set or whatever, and they're just in here too tight, it breaks the rule because you actually have to physically touch the poster, but you can't do it with gloves. You're just never going to get the grip, okay? But you grab the very corner of the innermost, part of the poster that's rolled in the center. And you just grab it and you tighten the roll internally enough to where all the other outsiding loosens up a little, and you can pull it out enough to where you can get the whole thing out. See, so I'm just twisting the poster. I'm getting there. You can see I'm kind of getting there. Exactly what I'm doing. Just trying to. Okay. Something's just not feeling right here. Trust your gut. I mean, if you're finding resistance, anything feels weird, just stop. All right. These aren't. Oh, what a fucking asshole. You know what this fucking douchebag did? All right. The reason it was stuck is because the end of the tube, he pushed the poster. The posters were jammed into the cutout, this part of the tube. Swear to Christ. All right. Anywho, man, again in collecting, sometimes you just got to take your licks. Not everyone's gonna know how to pack. You can ask, you can beg, you can plead. I mean, this guy from the start on Tuesday, I'm like, "Where's my poster, man? I paid for it last Thursday." He's like, "I dropped it off on Friday, the next day. Talked to the post office." He couldn't have given two shits. Okay, so these are still in better condition. Man, that just bums me out. These are still in better condition than the ones that I had, but I talked about them last week. The Menu. Completely underrated film. Dark comedy, black comedy, like something out of Black Mirror. Is that what it's called? Anyway, Anya Taylor-Joy is just. Uh, uh, and then Fine is awesome. Understated performance. But this popped up on eBay. Remember I said about vigilance. I just had a feeling. And for some reason, the menu popped up in my brain. And I'm like, hey, I'm in search for that this week. Hopped on eBay, and it was the set of 2 advances and the final. Credits 1 sheet. All for like $59. So $20 a poster. Awesome. All right, so here's the final. Oh, man. Oh, God damn it. I've got a tear. Because this a-hole couldn't be bothered to put a paper towel in each end. What a dick. Anywho, so I've got a nice little 1-inch tear, about 1/8 of an inch in on the border. Just it's not paper loss, but still, it's frustrating. It's some people just do not care. They've checked out completely. This is the fine advance. Uh, Wonderful surprises await you all. Um, well, that's a drag. I just saw right along this border. There's some fading, so this was in a light box, obviously, or something. Yeah, I don't think my other one has that. Well, I'm just praying that this one doesn't have the fading on it too. Well, I think we're good on this one. I don't think this one's faded. Um, but this is a perfect example of posters that I know are just going to increase exponentially in value because of their rarity, how difficult they are to obtain, the fact that this film was made during COVID. Anya Taylor-Joy is hot as shit right now. Ralph Fiennes, legend. Um, It's very black dark comedy for those who love it. For those who like it, they probably love it. Um, well shot, well acted. Uh, Not campy at all. It could have gone wrong so many ways, but solid performances all around. Again, rarity, digital cinemas, fewer posters being printed. Most of these that you'll find are going to be single-sided at best. Again, these have issues up close. Obviously, the edge wear, which was completely avoidable. Um, but I mean, solid copies. I mean, from even 5 feet away, you're not going to notice. I mean, you're a collector, you're going to obsess over these things. But, I mean, in the end, they're for you to enjoy, put up in your home theater, whatever. You love the film, you like the posters. I like the rarity. I like the chase. When I saw these for 60, I didn't even blink. Uh, yeah, so I could probably turn around and flip these for just two character advances for 500 minimum. I wouldn't take anything less than that. Okay, so she got the same inverted tear. So she was flipped and got the tear on this, just like this one did. What a fucking bummer. All right. So the big question is, do you guys want to see a fourth tube to be unrolled? Um, I went through and reorged all of them. I wanted them to be random, so when I originally put the numbers down, I did them like way out of order. But then finding them was a nightmare, so I took like an hour to resort of my number, fill in the blanks. There were a couple more imposter empty tubes in there. Uh, but we've got, so tube number one is a Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring set of 10 French grands, which 47 by 63. They're huge. Anyway, that tube is like taller than me and probably weighs more than me. But that's tube one. That's getting opened at the very end, the end of all things. 23 we've already done, 33 we've already done. I did number 13 tonight. That had the Martian posters in it. So if people would like to see another tube, I will do that. Otherwise, I may move on to the screenshots. Maybe I will just move on to the screens. Hey, we got up to 5 concurrent viewers at some point. I think that's a new record. I think I've had, well, my test stream, I think I had 6, but that was where people were calling in specifically to test. So I think this is the new legit record. Oh, for the no, for the screenshots, those are going to be every week. Whoops. No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want either. Here we go. So for the screenshots, for those who don't know, I will give you guys a few screenshots. First person that gets it right wins a 4K digital code. These are the codes that come with like all the 4K videos. I never use them, but they're the full legit movies. It's just 4K streaming versions of said movies. Usually they include the 4K, the Blu-ray, and the code. Okay, I'll do number 2 real quick. Now, hold on, did you say number 2? Yeah, number 2. This is also from Bruce, e-movie poster. So this ain't small. That being said, I think this is probably a folded French Grand. And if it's the one I'm thinking about, it's kind of cool. And Jules, you would probably get a kick out of it. Again, that's if this is what I think it is. It may not be. And if it is what I think it is, it's not actually a movie poster. And again, sometimes I hate the way these are packed, but I know that at least he does a good job. And so I know there's not going to usually be a poster underneath that I'm cutting into. Not from him anyway. But you just always got to take your time. He spent 20 years trying to find a poster, shredding it because you couldn't wait the 3 minutes to do it right. It's just such a pathetic waste. Now I know he usually packs. Yeah, he packs all his stuff in envelopes too. So you know what I like about sellers like Bruce is they don't. The cost to do things right is baked in to the price. Imagine that. I mean, the labor and then the time to train. On this poster, you need to bag it. You need to fold the bag, tape the bag. Then you need to put the bag inside 2 pieces of cardboard. Tape the cardboard, put the order number on the cardboard so we know what poster it is. And then you put that in an oversized, thick cardboard mailer. Yeah, it took me a couple minutes to get into it, but I know it's going to be safe. It's not what I thought it was going to be. Oh, man. These are awesome. Oh. Yeah, I got these precisely because one of these styles I gave to one of my best friends, Brad. Only I gave him the smaller French version, which is, I think it's 17 by 22. These are the full French Grand 47 by 63s. and there's 2 of them. You're gonna love them. I hope that the one that I really want is in this set because there's 3 of them that I got. Again, French Grands. So let me see how I'm even gonna try to attempt this. All right. Let's see if I can do this. So these were some of my first introductions. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put this up here. Oh, yeah, it'll be wide enough. So, first time I saw this was on a 3rd generation copy that had Macrovision on it. If you don't know what Macrovision was it was a protection scheme on old VHS tapes. So that you couldn't go video out to another VCR and record the film. It inserted a pulse that would cause the film to go tracking and then to static, and then it would come back after a few seconds. But I remember watching this film beginning to end with that going on, and I didn't care. I think Arrow just released it on 4K. It looks gorgeous. I hate when posters do this. Everyone knows I love big posters. Hard boiled, baby. And there's hard boiled and a baby. What are you going to say? I mean, yeah, John Woo, GOAT. So always be careful when refolding one of these to Make sure it settles nicely back into that factory fold shape. Smooth out all those little bumps so you don't create new folds. All right. Okay, so this isn't the one that I really was hoping. There were 3 that I got. Hard boiled, a bullet in the head, and the killer. Oh no. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one. Brad, if you're watching, you're not watching, but if and when you watch, this is for you, baby. Because this is the guy I gave the 17 by 22 poster to. And I hated him for taking that. I'm like, you can take any one of these posters. And they took the coolest one, of course. Whatever. Anyway, so I spent years looking for a replacement. And then I found these Grands. And I just couldn't help myself. And when you see this image, you're going to wonder why everyone doesn't know about this film. And I swear to God, the final action sequence will blow your fragile little mind apart. All right, so technically this is a combo. Oh man, that light's harsh. Um, so technically this is Better Tomorrow Part 1 and Part 2. So, but, giant fat lighting a cigarette with $100 bill. Timeless. Legend. John Woo, giant fat, man. You can't beat that combo. And look at how big that sucker is. I don't know who wouldn't want that hanging in their home theater. By the way, the scene is in the Better Tomorrow 2. It's just epic. I'm just going to leave it up. Finish the show with that up. And now we're going to head into screenshots. How many viewers we got on? We got like 3 people on. All right. Well, this will be quick and easy. All right. First giveaway of the night. Beer. All right. Remember, these are all spaceships. And if you can't see it, spaceship is this little ball in the center, right there. Negative. is not Oppie. Remember, it's a spaceship. What you're looking at right there is a sphere, and it's not the movie Sphere. There's a tree in the center of that spaceship. It's hard to see. No more guesses? Jules, you still on? Come on, I know somebody's got this. Nope. It is not Interstellar. Um, trying to think what other hint I can give. Actress, main actress. Nope. Main actress has won an Oscar. Main actor is probably best known for a superhero role. Spans 3 timelines. Give it a few more seconds and then move on. We got one no idea. And I once again lost my Internet Explorer or Safari because nope, not Gravity. Let's see. 2006. Darren directed it, starring Rachel and Hugh. I'm only going to give you like 10 or 15 seconds now because I'm sure somebody's Googling those 3 names. Man. All right, it's The Fountain. So I really like it. Technically, kind of a romance film. It's got a great connection story between Hugh and Rachel. I actually don't have the poster for it, but it's interesting. On this film, they did these like most of these shots were actually practical, and they did like I think they did like oil and paint on different transparent layers of glass or something. They did some really wild cinematography for this film. Just a great little sci-fi, but the sci-fi is just a part of it. There's a whole section back in the during the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition, and then a modern day love story. Well, the love story transcends both time and space to all 3 timelines, but anyway, it's a pretty cool one. No. Mario. The fountain. Bam. All right. Next. Obviously, a very sleek. Exactly. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Put her in the comfy chair. All right. So I've already mentioned the franchise once tonight. Yeah, it's not going to be that easy though. Yes, it's Trek. I'll give you that, but that's not enough to win it. And remember, I don't collect or talk about TV shows. I only talk about films for the most part. I mean, I generally try to have a. Nope. This is way later. Nope. This is not Khan. We talked about that last. Excuse me. Last week. One of the Unrolled was actually a folded Star Trek one sheet from 82. 80. 82. Yes. But no, it's not Star Trek 2. Post Next Gen. It's the last clue I give you. And obviously, I stated it's a film. God, and I'll tell you, even just watching, no, it's not that Jar Jar Abrams bullshit. I'll never watch those films again. I don't include them in my cinematic universe. They were never made. Like Nerdrotic said, I think when they activated the CERN collider, we got sucked into the stupid dimension where Starfleet Academy is what studio executives think that we want. In just finding this screenshot, I watched like the 30 seconds leading into this particular CG shot of the film or of the destroyer, whatever you want to call this ship. It's just a brutal. I mean, by the lines of it, if you know Trek, you know who made this ship. And it's not the Federation. And I can tell you right now, it's too green to be a Klingon ship. So what's left? But just even watching the beginning of the scene when they're on the bridge, no, I already said it's not Abrams. That Abrams crap. It's great to look at, but I mean, everyone knew it was going to be the Wrath of Khan. And then, yes, it was Wrath of Khan. And then they flipped the death of Spock to Kirk, but then he didn't die. No stakes, no risk, just crap storytelling. I mean, who cares about Pine's portrayal of Kirk? Nobody's going to remember that in 20 years. Anyway, so I give you the last hint. This is Romulan built. And it's a punishing, brutal, cloakable, I think they said it has 28 phaser banks and 54 photon torpedo tubes. So it's just like a monster. I mean, if you haven't figured it out now, yes, obviously it's Nemesis. But I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to give that one to you because, I mean, I don't know. We can talk, Jules. Anyway, yeah, so just the beginning of the scene when it cuts to Picard and the bridge crew on a bridge that's not the size of a football field. You can actually talk to the people that you're in command of on the command bridge. Jesus. Just the tension in the 2 minutes of that scene was better than anything in the entire season of Starfleet Academy. I mean, people who talk about Trek that were the problem were the fans who are bitching too much and causing cancellations of the series. No, it's because nobody watched your series. Starfleet Academy didn't even track series season 1 of a Star Trek property. Season 1 couldn't even track on Paramount's own streaming numbers, let alone Nielsen. That's how bad it was. Anyway, it's Star Trek Nemesis, yeah, and the Enterprise has to fight this beast of a ship. All right, last one. If nobody gets this, then we've got some serious homework to do, people. I think this was on the freaking movie poster. I'm giving you like 10 seconds to get this one. But, yep. So obviously, Arrival. I mean, that was easy. But yeah, all three were spaceships. Pretty cool ones too. Elegant and simple. Weapons max to the gills. And an elegant tree floating through the timelessness of space. So I'll give you a minute to look at your titles that you'll be selecting from this evening. Heck, I thought Arrival was in here. But it doesn't look like it. So I can't give you that one. Sorry about that. A lot of good movies in here. You should pick one that you've never seen. So any Q&As? Any people, anybody got any movie poster questions about anything? Framing, storing, displaying, buying, selling. Oh, that's one other thing I want to mention. It's funny, all this Lord of the Rings stuff, and they're talking about the if you haven't heard, yes. Oh, no. You wish. No, those are unfortunately going to be given away. I'm saving those, like all the Tarantino films and Tron Duo and the Hunger Games series, Dune 1 and 2, all the Daniel Craig Bonds. Those are going to be like special giveaways. I haven't decided what kind of those are going to be yet, but yeah, anything in here. If you want something you've probably never seen before, this is Steven. This is Soderbergh. Yeah, so that was Soderbergh with Terrence Stamp What a goat, man. That's a vicious film. Great little drama, thriller. It's got Peter Fonda in it. Um, Classic. Val Kilmer, early Val. All right, buddy, it's yours. What's so I kind of wanted to take it offline and get an email that I don't necessarily want to hear. Let's see. I'll just ping you later. I'll get you the code here in just a few minutes. All righty. Well, I think we're going to call it for the night. Mariano, I will get you your code. And there are no other questions. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about it. That was Val Kilmer's last film. Man, that was a real fitting tribute. I really liked the way that they portrayed him. Just a lot of respect. I mean, yeah, I mean, who when they weren't hot shit in Hollywood in the '80s wasn't difficult. But um, one thing I do remember is there's a documentary out there that he shot because, like I said, he was just hot back in the day. That Hansel, he's so hot right now. That Val Kilmer. Um, but he had like videotaped everything everywhere. Like, so he's got in this documentary, he's got footage of all the young hotshot stars back in the day, all when they were coming up. It's an incredible little documentary. Yeah, it's just called Val. Came out in 21. Um, yeah, I mean, you could probably watch it anywhere. I don't know what particular. Looks like it's on Prime Video right now. So if you've got Prime, you can watch it right now. I think that's his film. No, maybe it's not. Okay, maybe it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it chronicles Val Kilmer's life and career using thousands of hours of personal footage he shot himself over 40 years. Includes home movies, behind the scenes footage from films like Top Gun, and footage of his battle with throat cancer. So R.I.P. bro, you were one of the goats. I met the guy twice. Once in the round on the CU Boulder film camp or CU Boulder campus when I was there for film school. He was out in the amphitheater where he was going to perform Hamlet over summer session. I was taking summer classes to try and get my degree done faster, and just went up, say, hey, good to meet you. I love your films. Didn't want to bother him too much, but he was a great guy. Then I met him at a book signing. I brought in a real original Real Genius International style poster, wicked art. He said he had never seen it before, signed it. Whole long story, whatever happened with that one, but let's just say a fraternity brother was involved. It was over Christmas break, and it's gone. So, anywho, that was a rolled copy. I wound up getting it folded, obviously unsigned, but it is what it is. Was there no more questions? Everyone have a great night, a great weekend, and take care. Stay safe.